Wipes that not only clean your tools, but also disinfect. We'll make them out of your common shop towels and some other stuff you have laying around. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. Unless you're living under a rock, then you're very aware of this coronavirus/COVID-19 virus that's out there and creating this pandemic, as they're saying. Now, typically when I'm talking to people, they're all kind of on one side of the aisle or the other. It's kind of, hey, this is ridiculous that we're having to jump through all these hoops with all this hysteria out there. Or the other side is, man, we really do need to quarantine ourselves and make sure that we're cleaning every square inch and so on and so forth. And really and truly, probably the smart approach. This is the Tim approach, so don't take this as gospel, but I think we're somewhere in the middle. Be smart, don't be in contact with people that show the flu symptoms and the, sneezing, coughing, and fever, things like that. But again, take some precautions. And really, if you're elderly, if you're a senior, you probably do need to quarantine yourself a little more than, say, a teenager, because they're a lot less susceptible to actually picking up that virus, or at least showing the symptoms. Kids even more so. And that's another thing, is that kids can carry this without showing symptoms. So understand that as well. Again, I'm not a doctor, not a disease specialist. I know that probably surprises you. So don't take this as my word. Get on the CDC website. They've got some great information out there on it. But again, we've got to go on with our life, most of us. We still have to do our work. We still have to do some things. And so, if we're involved with customers, or we're working on customers' cars, or we're working on, putting cabinets in a kitchen somewhere, or even working in a church, whatever that may be, a nurse, whatever that may be, we're in our line of business. We're still working if we can. Some of us may be at home, but I know I'm still working. So we need to take a little extra precaution than normal. So I thought, what's some ways that we can actually, do our jobs, but do it a little cleaner, and then also take some precautions after the job to clean up, make sure our tools are clean, make sure our hands are clean, things like that. So first off, I would say I'm sometimes can be a penny pincher, and so I know I've bragged about sometimes of using these a lot better and thicker nitrile gloves because I can use them on multiple jobs. Well, probably right now is not the time to do that. Each job, take these things off, throw them away, throw them in the trash, even if they're still good. Just take the precaution. When you're in different customers' cars or different customers' houses or businesses, again, the easy thing to do, throw the gloves away, and you still need to wash your hands. And by the way, the CDC and every doctor I know still says soap and water. It doesn't need to be antibacterial, doesn't need to be any type of disinfecting soap. Just soap and water is the best thing you can do with your hands, washing for at least 20 seconds. You've heard the whole, sing Yankee Doodle or happy birthday or whatever all the way through, and that's basically your 20 seconds. So anyway, moving on, clean your hands, keep them clean after each job, throw your gloves away. Now, onto our tools, onto surfaces, things we're working on, and what can we do to do better at keeping those clean? Most of us have these blue shop towels around, probably hanging on the side of your toolbox, probably another one sitting in a cabinet somewhere, maybe even a whole slew of them. And if not, listen, some good paper towels that work. Cheaper paper towels are not going to work well. But anyway, so paper towel roll, shop towel roll, and then we need a container, because basically we're going to make some wet wipes out of a shop towel roll. And you can use a container like this where it has a flip up lid, so you can reach in and actually grab a paper towel as you need it. You can use things like other tubs that you may have. These are old Rain-X glass cleaner wipes, or an old set of hand wipes, whatever. So whatever container you want to use, a Ziploc bag will work absolutely fine as well. Now, one thing to know is most of your cleaners, they're either alcohol based, at least for disinfecting, alcohol based, bleach or Clorox based, or peroxide based. There's some other ones out there, but for the most part, those three are the ones you see all the time. And so I'm going to be making this one out of basically a bleach base. But again, you can replace this with alcohol or peroxide, but those are different ratios depending on what substance you're using. I'll also include a link for the CDC where it actually talks about kind of home remedy solutions or home disinfectant solutions where you can make yourself, because listen, we know the Walmart shelves, the Home Depot shelves, all the cleaning supplies are basically wiped out, things like that. So Probably going to boil down to what do you have in your house, what do you have at the shop, what do you have at your work to be able to make this with. So first thing, your shop towels, you've probably got that. Next thing is we've probably got to cut them down as well. There may be some containers that you can put a full roll of shop towels in, but you know, I'm just going to cut these down, and you can use a knife, probably a serrated edge knife. I'm going to use a one-handed recip. And let's see. Somebody told me recently to cut twice, measure once. Sounded good to me. This is working remarkably terrible. I'm reverting to my sonic hacksaw. Ha! Success. So now that we have two wonderful, beautiful shop towel rolls, by the way, that may look like toilet paper for later. It's toilet paper scarce, so not a bad idea. We'll lay this aside. Now basically we're going to use this roll, and we're going to use it like a wipe container would be. So we're going to put this in the container, and then we'll let the basically the solution we make soften up this cardboard tube, and then we can pull that out from the center, and we'll pull the wipes out from the center here. So first let's put our roll in here, and it's a little tight for this one, but it'll work. There we go. So we've got our container in here. Now, getting to our solution of what actually disinfects, and by the way, CDC recommends for hand sanitizers at 60% alcohol, but for surfaces and disinfecting surfaces, they're recommending 70% alcohol. So if you're using an alcohol base, make sure your alcohol is at least 70% alcohol. So by the way, people are talking about vodka, things like that. Not enough alcohol to actually do the job. We're going to be using bleach, and the CDC recommends like 3 tablespoons per quart, I believe, or a third cup for a gallon. So a gallon of water, you just need 1/3 cup of bleach. Now you may say, you know what, in the shop I don't have measuring cups and teaspoons and things like that. Well, you kind of do. I mean, here's a pint. So your water bottles are a pint. Spray bottles, this spray bottle I think is up to 32 ounces. Yes, a 32 ounce. So there's a quart. You know, I've got a gallon of bottled water. Sometimes you can get the bottled waters and the bigger ones. Your big Mountain Dew bottles, probably like 24 ounces. So again, you've got some different measuring apparatus around the shop. Here's a mixing container for mixing like fuel and oil, but again, you don't want to use something that's dirty. But anyway, listen, use some common sense when mixing this up. So let's assume we're going to take a pint here, and I'm going to just kind of use my water bottle here, or my spray bottle, as my mixing tub. So I'll put a pint in there. And then let's just say, so I'm going to say a capful is a tablespoon. I probably should be wearing gloves with the bleach, but make sure you wipe any of that up. So I've got my bleach and water in here, and now a little soap, a little surfactant, basically, kind of break the water tension. So a few drops, good squirt of Dawn or your favorite dish soap. Typically, everybody I see uses Dawn usually. Little mix up there. Just gently mix it up, and then we just want to pour this over the paper towels. It'll eventually soak all this up, but if we actually pour it in over it, it'll do that a little quicker than if we poured it down the bottom. So again, we can kind of let that soften up, and right away, you can see that we can now pull our cardboard tube out. with no problem at all. So that's just a few seconds of it sitting. And now we can pull the inside one. It's not completely wet yet, but now we can pull from the inside and pull off our towels. And the nice thing about this one, like I said, is this actually got a flip top lid. It'll keep it sealed. And now we can just kind of flip that lid up, pull these out as we need it, and wipe surfaces, wipe tools. So we got a little bit of soap in here, obviously water. So it's going to do a good job of just kind of doing general cleanup of tools. It's also going to disinfect because it's got that bleach in it. Now, if you're kind of allergic to bleach, or your skin reacts, or what am I trying to say? So irritates your skin, then wear a set of gloves when you're doing this. But it's got a very faint bleach smell. It's not real strong because, again, we just put like 3 capfuls in a pint of water to do this whole container. But anyway, it's very simple, very simple. Now we can wipe down whatever we need to. We can wipe down our tools, and it's going to clean those up as well as disinfect them. So just a simple way that you can, again, keep your surfaces clean, keep them disinfected, keep your skin clean, just a little cleaner environment than we're typical, guys, and ladies, is going to do us very well. And so make sure that you're doing the best you can to keep from spreading this, as well as looking after others, and then also protect yourself, because like I said, when you're dealing with other customers, a lot of times we don't know where they've been to, who they've been in contact with. So the best thing to do, try not to touch your face. I'm bad about that. We typically do that like 2,000 times a day. So try not to touch your face, and wash your hands after anything you're doing. Just soap and water will be fine. Hey, that's your Tuesday tool tip. It's also some good home remedy, shop remedy for keeping things clean around the shop. Make sure you keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you don't mind, hit the like and subscribe button, even that bell notification, so that we can notify you of future videos. Stay clean out there, and go ahead and do something nice for someone. Have a great day.